Scott Jones sat in that interview room and tried to sell a story that sounded almost too simple to question. A sudden collapse, a frantic scramble, a desperate 911 call. He keeps repeating it like a shield.
And then, I don't know, dude, like she went like this. She started going like that and stuff.
Then he tries to shrink the gap that matters most.
Been more than 2 minutes, man. It couldn't have been, man. It was about 2 full minutes, man, for sure.
But the detective doesn't argue. He doesn't lecture. He just tightens the frame, step by step, until the lie has nowhere left to breathe.
So once that happens, what happens next? Did you check to see if she was breathing?
No.
And then the question that quietly detonates the whole timeline.
That room, the laundry room, is there one door in it?
Because this is the psychology of a crumbling story. Liars don't just invent events. They invent order. They invent minutes. And when a detective pins them to sequence, to placement, to physical reality, one door, one timeline, one person in control, the narrative starts slipping. Scott even senses it. He tries to pre-defend himself with the one thing he thinks can save him.
There's film footage, man. Check it out.
He says it like proof, without realizing it's a trap. That's expectancy violation in real time. He expects the cameras to confirm him, while the detective is using his own word to lock him into what the cameras will actually show. So who was Deborah DePinto? And how did the man who called her my whole fucking world believe a 2-minute story could survive a room with one door? Thanks to law enforcement agency for providing me this footage, and this is the first time you are going to watch extensive interrogation of this case. I'm new on YouTube and your review about my video means a lot to me. On June 18th, 2018, at 7:56 p.m., Boulder police receive a frantic call from 11-year-old Michael Jones.
Please help me! Please help me! I'm going to help you. Take a deep breath.
His voice is shaking as he tells the dispatcher that his mother, Deborah DePinto, is lying unresponsive in the laundry room. In the background, another voice cuts through the panic. Loud, desperate, almost theatrical. Please help me. Please help my wife. That voice belongs to 47-year-old Scott Jones, Deborah's husband of more than a decade. Body camera footage shows first responders rushing in, finding Deborah on the floor. Scott hovers nearby, crying, pacing, repeating that she's everything to him. Paramedics try to stabilize her, asking about drugs, medical history, anything that could explain what they're seeing. Scott gives vague answers. He doesn't know. Maybe she smoked something. Maybe she passed out. Nothing is clear. Deborah is rushed to the hospital. She doesn't survive. And in that moment, what looked like a medical emergency becomes something far darker. Investigators begin rebuilding the day from surveillance footage and witness statements. Neighbors later describe Scott as a stay-at-home husband who had relied heavily on Deborah's income for years.
She really put out to him and his expectations of the relationship.
Which were very strange.
She worked 2 jobs while he didn't work any, and, you know,
Afternoon, multiple cameras quietly recorded what no one knew would become evidence. Deborah arrives at the trailer park office to do laundry.
I thought there was some common sense with you.
Well, I thought he knew that you don't remember being in there.
He doesn't know.
I didn't fucking know. That's why you didn't tell me that.
Then something strange happens. After nearly 5 minutes, Scott walks out alone. No Deborah. No call for help.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
No rush to get assistance. Instead, cameras show him walking away, then returning with his young son.
She's gone, man. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Only after bringing Michael into the room does the 911 call happen. Why? What happened during those missing minutes? Inside the trailer park office, a hidden camera, installed months earlier because of thefts, had been recording everything. Investigators would later discover that this device captured both video and sound. It recorded Deborah's voice telling Scott to get away. It recorded signs of a struggle. And then, silence. That silence lasted nearly a minute and a half. But Scott stayed in that room for 47 minutes.
So anyway, so she shut the door. Dude, it got hot as hell in there, man. It was hot as fuck. Mm-hmm. All right, well, I don't do very good in the heat at all, dude. All right? And then we started figuring out, so what do you want to do for dinner tonight? I don't know, man. I'm trying to remember what she said, Santiago's or something like that. And I was like, nah, that's a lot. want that. What do you think? We should go to Taco Bell or something. She's like, yeah, we can go to Taco Bell. She's like, well, I'll tell you what I do, man. Help me with this laundry, because now I'm remembering everything, dude. I had the laundry bag in my hand, dude. She didn't have it in her hand. Or she did, and I like said, here, let me take this for you. And then I had it. And then, I don't know, dude. Like, she went like this. She started going like that and stuff. And that's a fact, dude. And then after that, dude, I don't know if she stopped choking or I don't know. Did I make that up? I don't know, man. I'm not sure. Maybe I did. Maybe she said it. I'm not exactly sure.
The detective begins the interview with calmness and empathy, allowing Scott to express his grief and confusion without cutting him off. By offering emotional reassurance and maintaining a soft tone, the investigator creates an environment that feels secure and non-threatening. Research on rapport-based interviewing, Abby and Brandon, 2013, shows that this sense of trust reduces defensiveness and encourages openness. Once Scott accepts this connection as genuine, any later contradiction becomes more damaging because it threatens the relationship he believed he had formed.
So once that happens, what happens next?
Oh, man. For the first time, that girl fucking went down, dude. She went down and shit like that. And I went to grab her, dude, and I didn't get a good hold of her, shit. And then she rolled this way and she went straight down, dude. And then she started doing the shit like that and doing the shakes like doing the fucking fish, dude. I rolled her over, dude. I put her arms up just like that, dude. Thinking that was gonna do something. I waited for maybe a minute. Buddy, that didn't do anything, man. So I went out and I thought to myself, are you leaving her? Then I went back in. Then I looked at her again and then the little light just went, get out of here. You gotta do something now, you gotta do something now. I didn't have my phone on me. I couldn't find my damn phone. So I went back inside of the trailer. Where's the phone? Where's the phone? I was panicked. I was freaking out. So he came with me. We see her. Oh my God, bro, she's looking blue.
Rather than challenging Scott's account immediately, the detective invites detailed, extended explanations, encouraging him to walk through every movement, sound, and sensation. Each added detail increases the mental burden Scott must manage. Cognitive load theory, Sweller, 1988, explains that deception becomes harder to sustain when the mind is overloaded. As Scott works to maintain an increasingly complex story, it begins to surface.
In the trailer, a couple months ago, there was this lady Macy. I know that she called him, right? He didn't call him on me, brother. Call him on her. So the cop comes to my house. Well, what about this? And a black car and this and that. I'm like, bro, I'll make a deal. You give up, I'll give up. Then the other guy's like, man, we ain't got nothing here, man. We gotta leave. No, man, a crime's been committed. I'm like, there sure is. The crime that you're committing against me. I am not giving up. Dude, do you understand that? So you're starting to get a picture here, ain't you? I'll protect that girl no matter what, dude. You hear what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She can do whatever she wants, and I'm gonna protect that girl. You hear me? Mm-hmm. That's what's up. Ain't giving up my... Well, because she got a little loud? Tell you the truth, I lied to that cop. You know what I told him? I said, you know, my TV was too loud. It was my TV. It was my TV. So I protected her. You know? What was I supposed to do?
So when you say that, I have to ask, did something happen in there and you're protecting her?
She just started yelling and screaming, dude. That's it. That's all it really was. Yelling and screaming, man.
While Scott discusses neutral topics, the detective carefully observes his natural communication style, establishing a behavioral baseline. This provides a reference for how Scott normally speaks and behaves when relaxed. When sensitive subjects arise, the detective watches for changes, longer pauses, hesitant wording, or altered tone. According to behavioral baseline analysis, Vrij, 2008, these deviations signal psychological stress and often reveal deception.
So she falls, you try to catch her, you bring her arms up over her head.
Yeah, I roll her over.
And she's lying
on her back.
When you stretch her out.
That's correct.
And at that point, is there any noises coming from her?
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. I was freaking out.
Did you check for a pulse? Did you check to see if she was breathing?
No.
Is she?
No, she looked really blue.
Okay.
And I was looking at her. And I don't know, man. Are we getting to the phase where this is like surreal or something? I don't know.
Scott is frequently asked to estimate how long certain actions took, such as performing CPR or searching the room. Later in the interview, the same timing questions are repeated. Genuine memories tend to remain stable, while fabricated timelines shift. Temporal anchoring theory, Hag and Stromwall, 1999, uses repeated time-based questioning to expose stories that are not grounded in real experience.
I'm gonna stay strong for those kids. But this lying shit, it don't fucking work for me, man. If it wasn't for those kids, man, I think I'd probably just jump off a goddamn bridge and be done. And I'd go be with and that'd be the end of it. And then you'd have to go, wow, what a sad story this just turned into, dude. Now they're both gone. And now those kids are gonna go to an orphanage and shit. And that is the only thing that's telling me, you have got to be strong. You have got to be for real, dude. You have got to stay on, dude. And then there's this little part that's like, man, shut the hell up. I just lost dude. You're not consoling me with that crap. It's bullshit. Now I'm alone, man.
But they're both that way.
Well, I don't feel very strong right now, okay?
Well, no, and you don't have to be. I mean,
And I thought I was strong, dude.
going through what you went through, I don't wish that on anyone. And
I want her to come back.
Yeah. And
I
then,
feel like I'm going nuts, okay? I'm going nuts, man.
well, it's a lot.
I need that girl. Do you understand? I fucking need her, dude. Alright, well, maybe that's not being an alpha male right now, but guess what, man? I really need that girl, man. Behind every good man is a good woman, okay?
Over time, Scott begins relying on his home surveillance system to support his innocence. Only after he fully commits to this claim does the detective reveal that the system also records audio. This unexpected disclosure undermines Scott's narrative instantly. The strategic use of evidence model, Hartwig, Granhag, and Luke, 2014, emphasizes allowing suspects to entrench themselves in false statements before confronting them with contradictory proof.
Hell, man, I don't know what the hell we were arguing about, man. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what we were arguing about.
All right, she's, you can hear her telling you to get out of the way of the door.
Okay. There you go, brother.
And so that's what we're just trying to find out, you know, was it stress, what a kid.
I don't know, man.
And I'm trying to make it kid but the audio is concerning. And for the sake of the kids and everything else, this is where we need to get to the truth of it and really figure out what happened as far as that goes.
Man, you know what happened, man, because I just told you everything I got, brother. I don't know what else to tell you, man.
Was she, do you think Kate, I'm sorry, I don't know, but was she in the car because
She was supposed to, like, do her, she was gonna take the fucking shit and put it in the car, dude, and I don't know why she told.
When Scott becomes emotional, the detective responds with understanding and validation. However, this empathy is immediately followed by precise, factual questions, such as asking whether he checked for a pulse. This blend of emotional support and direct inquiry reflects interviewing principles, Miller and Rolnick, 1991, which show that empathy reduces resistance while discrepancies force suspects to confront inconsistencies.
Anything that you can think of that you're uncomfortable, you don't want to, you don't want to say anything because you're nervous that it's going to look bad, that we're going to judge you or anything like that.
I don't know, man.
And the reason I bring this up is what Chris was talking to you about earlier, about there being audio. There is audio, and you can hear the two of you arguing while you're in that room. And so, it doesn't, we're not here to judge you, we're just here to figure out what happened. And so the fact that there is audio of you two arguing, there's even a point where she's yelling for you to get away from the door.
Yeah, he already said that.
And is there anything going on with that? Any reason why she would say that? Is Is it you're just uncomfortable and you don't want to talk about what happened?
I don't know.
As Scott modifies parts of his account, the detective calmly restates earlier versions of the story, prompting him to maintain coherence. The commitment and consistency principle, Cialdini, 1984, explains that people feel internal pressure to remain aligned with prior statements. When Scott cannot reconcile conflicting versions, contradictions become unavoidable.
You know about the other guy, and he runs the show here, dude. This is his world, and it says it too, man. He's the boss.
Chris and I see it every day.
And what I don't understand, man, is how I got left behind, man. I got left behind, brother.
For right now, you do.
I got left behind, man. And now my woman, the thing that makes me strong is gone, dude. And I don't feel so strong anymore, okay? You know?
I get where you're coming from. I do.
And I'm looking at everything as minutes now. Everything is minutes. It's not even day to day anymore. It's minutes. You know that?
But, I mean...
It sucks, man. It sucks. You know, there's sometimes, you know, where I always win. You know that? I always win. But then there's a point where you're like, you gotta lose. You know that, right? You gotta lose. You gotta lose.
Sometimes that's all that's gonna happen. That's, I mean, like I told you, I promise you that we're gonna make right for you and your family.
The bottom line, man.
She's gone. I got it.
She's.
The interrogation extends late into the night, gradually draining Scott's mental energy. As fatigue increases, his ability to regulate his behavior weakens. Errors, slips, and unintended begin to emerge. Ego depletion theory, Baumeister et al., 1998, suggests that sustained exhaustion makes sustained deception extremely difficult.
And I ask stupid questions over and over again. You know, I'm, in all honesty,
I get
I'm
it,
like,
man. You're just doing your job.
well, I'm just looking for answers because I want to make sure I don't miss anything.
All I know, man, is a tragic thing happened today, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Will you give me your word that you had nothing to do with death today?
I give you my word.
So,
Brother, you can't save me.
no, but I can give you answers. And
There ain't no answers, man.
well, when I go to the autopsy on Wednesday, and you know the
Turns out I was
pathologist,
right.
yeah,
Then what?
I'll be the first one to shake your hand and say sorry for questioning you.
What is
It does absolutely
I'm just
nothing.
gonna live without my lady, man.
You are,
You know?
but you know, not having the autopsy today or tomorrow is tough, because I don't want to miss anything.
When Scott firmly denies involvement, the detective reframes the situation into possibilities, an unfortunate accident or situation that escalated beyond control. Framing theory, Tversky and Kahneman, 1981, shows that people tend to select from presented options rather than invent alternatives. Faced with these choices, the less severe explanation begins to feel like the safest path.
What we do,
I'm not my partner, man. It's just too painful, man.
absolutely, it's fresh.
That
God, it
that
just
was my most
happened.
important thing in my whole life, man. And now she's gone, dude.
Yes, she is.
There's no more chances, man.
There's lots to do. There's lots to get you past this. You just got to get your head
I
straight.
can't get past it, man.
Well, it's fresh. My God, it just happened.
Man, we're not talking about losing a puppy here.
I
Okay?
know. Believe me, I get it, and I don't want to minimize it, but it just happened.
This is the most important woman in the world, man.
And thank God, because
I mean, my
she's.
God, seeing her on that table tonight, man.
Yeah, I know.
I'm looking at myself, who the fuck are you, man? Who the fuck are you? You're nobody, man. You're nobody, dude. Yeah, I just feel so fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. See, I'm not saying what I'm doing. And I ain't saying what I ain't gonna do.
I know.
I ain't gonna do that.
I know.
I ain't gonna do
I
that.
got that.
But I promise that I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do.
Investigators consistently describe the event using compassionate language, emphasizing panic, confusion rather than blame. This approach reflects the minimization technique, Cassin and McNaull, 1991, which reduces perceived moral threat and encourages suspects to elaborate. These elaborations often evolve into partial admissions.
So when you walk out of that room, she's on her back.
Yes.
Describe to me how she's positioned at that point.
To show you, dude. She was like this.
So she's stretched out.
Her mouth was open, and I don't know, maybe an eye was open, her eye was closed. I don't know for sure.
And so
She was in trouble, all right? And I'm like, you're gonna get your ass out of here, and you're gonna do something about it right now, dude. Move your ass, dude.
so when you talk about her being blue, where is she blue? Is her whole face,
Her
body?
face was blue, man. I'm telling you. It was so blue, dude. I never seen anything like that in my life, dude.
Did she ever indicate she couldn't breathe?
No.
Other than those pants that she does?
She does that all the time. She
Yeah.
does that shit all the time, man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because I remember when it first started out, I'm like, what's going on with that?
Yeah.
Why do you do that? She's like, well, I got polyps in my nose and I can't breathe like you do.
Whenever Scott becomes absorbed in emotional narratives, detectives redirect him to concrete physical details, where the phone was located, how the body was positioned, and how CPR was administered. Grounded cognition theory, Basler, 2008, indicates that focusing on sensory information limits imaginative distortion and reinforces reality-based recall.
Wish I could rewind the clock. I can't.
I know.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, brother.
What are you sorry about?
It's gone.
So am I.
I really needed her. We were gonna go to counseling. We were gonna fix it.
I know.
We were on the right road, man. I don't know what happened. I'm sad.
I know you are. I know you are.
But nobody's getting any confessions out of me, man.
Well, I'm not here for that. I'm here.
It's for it to be over.
All right.
That's what I want.
As inconsistencies accumulate, the detective subtly references legal procedures, attorneys, and future proceedings. Though indirect, this reminder carries significant psychological weight. Prospect theory, Kahneman and Tversky, 1979, explains that individuals are more motivated to avoid losses, such as freedom, than to seek gains. This fear encourages suspects to cling to and reinforce the undiscutable their existing statements, even when those statements are unstable.
I reminded her, you know, that's funny. She's got Alzheimer's. She remembered me. She loved me. And her best friend, she loved me. And I think hated me because of it. See her. She remembered me. She only met me a few times in life. It's weird. How do you explain that shit?
You made an impact on him.
I'm a good person, man. I'm telling you. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, man. I'm a bad person, right? Now? That's what I am now.
No. Your kids are right over here.
The detective strategically asks Scott to give his word that he is innocent, transforming a simple denial into a moral vow. By framing innocence as a personal promise, Scott fuses the claim with his self-image. When later evidence challenges that vow, the psychological strain intensifies. Cognitive dissonance theory, Festinger, 1957, explains that violating one's declared moral stance creates deep internal discomfort, often motivating individuals to resolve the tension through admission or correction.
No, I don't think you're looking at. I mean, granted, I have no place to speak. I don't know. I just know that in one of our old cases, we had a guy that stabbed someone else, and they didn't get much time for what they did.
I didn't stab nobody.
No,
I didn't even use a weapon.
I know. And so, you know, it's so hard to say. Counties, you know,
Hard, laxed.
they're very lax. That's why we have so much crime here.
You know, if I don't do a lot of time, because I'm going to do all my time, I don't do that probation shit. They ain't going to screw me. I'm going to leave.
Well,
I don't know where I'm going to go.
remember your kids.
Where are they?
You asked your kids. They're right here.
The subtle reference to the autopsy redirects power away from Scott's version of events. By emphasizing that forensic findings, not personal narratives, will establish the truth, the detective reclaims control of the situation. Locus of control theory, Rota, 1966, suggests that when individuals perceive they no longer control how reality is defined, resistance weakens and compliance increases.
I said before, good people make mistakes.
Well, I made a big one. I'm going to pay the price.
You did make a big mistake.
And what is second-degree murder? What is that?
I don't know.
Serious shit.
So what I did was I asked, and I was told that it's really not. There's not a set number. That it's really up to the individual judge. There's a range, and the judge figures out where they want it. And so
It looks like involuntary manslaughter, man. I'm telling you, I keep going through it in my head.
Yeah, it's I don't know the actual reading of second degree, but you know, I'm sure they'll figure out which ones fits the best, and so then they'll go from there.
So they're looking at second what?
I don't know, because I stepped away.
What's less than that?
Manslaughter.
Rather than interrupting Scott's reflections about sin, punishment, or fate, detectives allow him to continue. This creates room for emotional unloading. Self-disclosure theory, Gerard, 1971, indicates that when individuals openly process morality and consequence, they inch closer to revealing actions connected to guilt or responsibility.
Oh,
I do like 3 to 5 years. Where are my kids going?
I don't know. I don't know.
Am I going to get them back?
I don't know. I think, you know, it's gonna be 18.
4 years.
And so it's just a matter of
But for him, it's 7.
you
And
not.
they'll break them up.
I don't know.
And I'm worried
think they-
because the last time they did that,
Yeah.
those people got those kids, they killed them, man. They
Yeah.
killed those kids, man.
Yeah,
Who
well,
does that?
I don't know. I don't want to think about
And
it.
please don't think I ever would hurt my children, brother. Never.
I know.
I never would hurt them, dude.
I know.
I was gonna take him to and leave her there. I was gonna go get my shit and leave him and finish myself off.
I know.
That's what I was gonna do.
I know.
But I didn't think anything through. I didn't think about anything. I just reacted. I don't know what the fuck happened. I just like a fucking asshole. I just reacted. I don't know.
When Scott describes troubling memories, detectives respond minimally, small nods, brief acknowledgments, and extended quiet. That silence becomes psychologically uncomfortable. People instinctively attempt to fill quiet gaps with further explanation. The silence technique, Cassin, 2005, works because suspects often disclose unintended details simply to ease their own tension.
I don't know, man. It's nuts. I don't feel like a good person anymore.
It's an act. It's one thing. The goal is to get to a point where you can forgive yourself. You know, if this isn't how you normally are, you need to get to a place where you can forgive yourself.
I've never done anything like this.
I know.
I've never done. You can look at my record.
But they did.
I don't have anything like this on me. I got stupid bullshit.
Yeah.
Stupid bullshit, man. And if you look at my time, and you gotta go back. Yeah, you gotta go back. Yeah. Because if you go all the way back to, 95, maybe that's where it starts. Petty theft crime, that's it. And I didn't even fucking do that shit. I found a goddamn thing in the dumpster. And the cop comes out and says, well, I'm here, man. I gotta write this up and shit, so here we go. And I'm like, really? Is that how that works? And he's like, yeah, because I'm here. Yeah, we gotta do this, dude. So I was like, fine.
Scott speaks in spiritual terms about divine judgment and destiny. Rather than challenging those beliefs, detectives mirror his phrasing. This alignment fosters perceived understanding and connection. Mirroring and rapport synchrony theory, Chartrand and Barr, 1999, shows that people tend to trust those who communicate in familiar patterns. Once Scott senses spiritual empathy, his defenses soften.
Because I think they're trying to put it together.
Please keep up with my children. Please don't let them fall through the cracks.
Tell me what you want me to do with the money. Do you want me to just bring it back, put it in for safekeeping? Do you want me to give some of it to the kids? Because you can, granted, I don't know, and right now I'm tired, but when you have first appearance, if there's a bond, they'll
If
set
it's
it.
cheap,
They'll set it.
I'd like to be able to use some of that money to get out.
So, I don't know how this whole process
But if
works.
they're like, nah, it's fucking whatever, and it's gonna cost you your whole $7,000 to get out, no way, I would never do that.
The detective redirects attention to Scott's role as a father, reframes him not just as a suspect, but as a parent with moral obligations. Identity theory, Burke and Stetz, 2009, explains that activating a core identity, especially one tied to responsibility, motivates behavior consistent with that role. Scott becomes psychologically inclined to act in a way that preserves his image as a truthful parent.
And I spent all that time in there and shit, man. He's like, do you like to be locked up? No, I hate it. And before that, what was it? A bullshit chick. Total setup, dude. She called the cops on me and put the phone off. And I was railing, dude. I was just yelling. That's it. They came and got me naked. This indignant shit, man. You know that? I was 19 years old.
Oh my God.
What the fuck? That's it.
You know, I've been doing this long enough that I can see it in your eyes. I knew that there was something there that you just didn't feel comfortable saying.
As Scott's statements grow darker, hinting at hopelessness or self-destruction, the detective remains composed. Instead of reacting with alarm, he channels that despair toward accountability. Contemporary interpretations of thanatos and hopelessness research, Freud, Joyner, 2005, suggest that emotional collapse can precede relief-seeking behavior. For some individuals, confession becomes a way to escape unbearable internal weight.
People make mistakes.
I don't know, for murder.
Believe
Is that
me.
what that is?
Believe me. It's people can do stupid shit in the heat of passion, and you said those words yourself. This was not something you planned out. You're absolutely right with
It just happened. I don't know, man.
And so, it's just something that,
Whenever Scott drifts into abstract theology or metaphor, detectives redirect him toward specific, physical details, times, injuries, actions. This grounding limits imaginative escape. Basela's cognitive reorientation framework, 2008, emphasizes that focusing on tangible sensory fact constrains narrative distortion and keeps the discussion anchored in observable reality. Scott believed he was done. He told detectives he was drained, that he couldn't think straight anymore, and asked if he could leave. For a brief moment, it seemed possible. Chairs scraped against the floor. Files were stacked. The tension in the room eased. Then a phone rang. The detectives
know how that whole step works.
stepped outside to answer it. When he returned, the shift in atmosphere was unmistakable. The call had come from the manager of the Ponderosa Mobile Home Park. Months earlier, concerned about repeated laundry thefts, he had quietly installed a concealed camera inside the communal washroom. No signs, no warnings. No one knew it existed. He had just forwarded the footage. When detectives opened the video, the timeline spoke for itself.
So this is the video that we were talking about. And so...
Shed. They were arguing. Her voice echoed sharply in the small space. Get away from me. Moments later, the sound of movement, scuffling, impact, frantic motion. And then, silence. That silence stretched for 90 seconds. But Scott remained. For 47 minutes. The footage showed him pacing the narrow room, breathing heavily, lingering long after Deborah's voice had vanished. He made no immediate attempt to call for help. No frantic rush to dial 911. He didn't leave the shed for nearly an hour. When he finally did, it was not alone. He returned with his 11-year-old son. In a single recording.
But it happened, and you took responsibility for it.
So what does that mean to a judge?
A whole bunch. A whole bunch. You'd be surprised by some of the stuff that we have. And they will argue and fight and say that they didn't do something. And, you know, we can have video, we can show you the video, you know, especially when you go to court. I mean, I don't know why people do what they do. You know, the judge, if you own your mistakes, they're more lenient. People make mistakes.
Just when Scott begins to calm down, believing the ordeal is nearly over and that he may soon walk out, detectives reveal the existence of a concealed camera. The sense of relief evaporates instantly. What replaces it is psychological collision. The belief, I'm innocent and about to go home, crashes head-on into, they discovered something I never planned for. The detectives don't press him immediately. They allow the realization to sink in. That internal conflict simmers. The longer Scott sits with that mental contradiction, the more destabilized he becomes. He craves an escape from the pressure, and the investigators subtly position themselves as the only source of that relief.
What are they going to find?
I don't know, man. You tell me. What are they going to find?
I don't know.
I didn't stab anybody. I didn't do nothing like that. I didn't do that.
So how did she die? Obviously, she has the mark on her.
She died from asphyxiation, I guess, but I don't know, man. This shit right here, I have no idea. Okay. I don't know. I don't know.
Was she?
I don't know. When she fell.
Face down?
When she fell, yeah, she was face down. She fell. Maybe I didn't do anything. Maybe I just didn't do anything. Maybe I just waited and I didn't do anything. Maybe it turns out I just didn't do nothing, you know?
Before the footage is even played, detectives outline what the audio captures: Deborah yelling, demanding space, the unmistakable sounds of struggle. They heighten the tension first. Arousal, confession research suggests that stress peaks just prior to confrontation with evidence. When that emotional spike finally breaks, suspects often view confession, or partial acknowledgement, as the only way to release the pressure. Scott is intentionally guided into that psychological corner.
Nothing else around your neck? Okay. All right, let me just get a picture of this side so that. All right. Can I just do your hands?
You know, this doesn't prove anything, though.
No, I know. All I'm doing is just showing that there's nothing, there's no scratches or anything. I'm going to just eat one hand piece.
Yeah, there's no sign of foul play.
No, I agree. So, next question on the inside. So, who did that artwork? Your lines are so clean. How old? Does he work in a tattoo parlor?
No.
Because his lines are really, really clean.
That doesn't prove anything. You know that.
I know,
man.
we're just documenting that.
I mean, Greg will tell you, man, we were hauling trash today and I didn't have gloves on.
I'm not saying it does, we just gotta document it.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's it.
Cause yeah, my boy at the place, he'll tell you, man. We did that trash today, man. And that's how I got these scratches.
So,
Because I wasn't wearing gloves.
DNA. Can we swab the area around your head where the scratches are?
Sure.
I want to know.
Because you're looking for her DNA, right?
It's to
'Cause
rule
it's
you
not
out.
there. It's
In
not
all
there.
honesty,
It's not there.
it's to rule you out.
Even while holding devastating evidence, detectives remain composed. They request photographs, shoe impressions, DNA samples, presenting everything as standard protocol. This composure is strategic. Normalization of compliance theory explains that people are more likely to cooperate when actions feel routine rather than accusatory. By keeping the process ordinary, detectives prevent Scott from bracing for confrontation. He complies step by step until the very evidence.
So this is the video that we were talking about. And so
I'm trapped. Get away from me. You make me feel terrible. Get away from the door, Mom.
When detectives finally play the recording, Deborah shouting, "Get away from the door." Scott's defense strategy implodes. He had convinced himself the silent footage couldn't ruin him. But hearing her fear in real time blindsides him. This is classic expectancy violation, begun when reality defies a person's assumptions, cognitive focus spikes, and defenses falter. In that narrow psychological window, cooperation becomes far more likely. Scott scrambles to repair a narrative that no longer aligns with what everyone just heard.
Keep talking. You want to tell me?
Is there a death penalty in this state?
yeah. Do you want to keep talking to me? Because if you do, I have to read you your words.
Where do we go? Let's talk our options. Discuss our options then.
Let me read this, and then you can tell me. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer,
Can I sit down?
Do you understand this?
I understand.
And with that in mind, do you want to still talk to me?
Sure.
Okay. Here, sit down.
When Scott invokes his right to counsel, the detective respects it. Then comes a subtle question. Do you still want to talk? That small choice matters. Self-determination theory, Deci and Ryan, shows that perceived autonomy lowers resistance. Ironically, Scott continues speaking precisely because he feels the conversation is now voluntary. The sense of control keeps him engaged.
Of what you've learned. Help me.
I'm trying, man.
You're still in there with her. You're still there with her. What are you looking, what's happening in this room?
No, man.
Is she just laying there while you're in the bathroom?
Detectives initially ask Scott to explain everything. It's overwhelming. When he hesitates, they reduce the scope. Were you inside the bathroom? For how long? Smaller questions feel safer. This reflects door-in-the-face combined with foot-in-the-door dynamics. After rejecting a large request, individuals often accept smaller ones. Each minor acknowledgement accumulates. Piece by piece, Scott edges closer to admitting elements of the truth.
Did it just get away from us or something? Maybe that's what happened. It just, I don't know, man. Was it spontaneous or something? Well, I don't know. Is that it? Spontaneous?
Yeah.
You think that if there wasn't a time machine, a man wouldn't be like, wow, what the fuck are you doing, man? What the fuck are you doing? You've just sworn to protect this person and love him forever and ever and ever. What are you fucking doing here?
Yeah.
Okay? Because I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel lost. I feel very lost, okay?
It makes more sense.
I'm being honest with you.
No, it makes more
I'm feeling
sense.
so fucking...
Scott's story gradually shifts. First come rationalizations. It just happened. It wasn't planned. Then justifications. Betrayal. Anger. Losing control. Eventually, he approaches the mechanics of Deborah's death itself. Accounts theory, Scott and Lyman, shows that suspects rarely jump straight to confession. They transition through stages. Excuse, justification, explanation, until narrative defense transforms into incriminating detail. The detective maintains a tone of reassurance, suggesting Scott isn't inherently evil, even as the hidden footage contradicts everything. The video depicts Scott alone with Deborah's lifeless body for 47 minutes. No frantic calls, no visible panic, just pacing, calculating, waiting. Then comes the most unsettling decision. He leaves, not to seek help, but to bring his 11-year-old son into the room. By having the boy call 911, Scott attempts to construct a narrative of innocence. On the 911 recording, Michael's trembling voice describes what he sees.
Yo, she's purple.
Okay, so I need to...
When the dispatcher asks for the address,
The address. I don't know. You don't know.
Investigators later discovered Scott texted his 13-year-old daughter from his phone, pretending to be Michael. Mom's dead. A message designed to manipulate...
He doesn't know I'm sorry. Yeah, what makes him snap, man? What makes him snap?
It's called life. We can only handle so much. It's life.
Mistake.
Yeah, you did. And I'm not gonna play it down. At the end of the day,
We're gonna go to counseling.
Detectives soften their tone. You're not a monster. You're not a bad guy. This is tactical. Facework theory explains that protecting a person's dignity keeps them talking. Scott remains engaged because telling fragments of the truth no longer feels like self-destruction.
there's nothing in me that...
Never will look my kids in the eyes again, dude. Ever. Going in that room was the worst fucking thing for me, man. Besides seeing... To look them in the eye, man. They're gonna fucking hear that shit. That they're gonna fucking hear that? Is that right?
What I'm gonna tell your kids
I'll cop to everything. I'll say everything. I'll be like, oh, fuck, I'm a monster. No. Whatever it takes, man. No. So that they don't have to be drugged through the mud.
They're not gonna be drugged through the mud.
Because I love them, man. Like a piece of shit. Like a fucking animal. So he doesn't know me. He doesn't know what I've been through. He doesn't know what she's done. She doesn't know anything. He doesn't know shit.
He sinks into shame, an emotion that shuts down communication. Detectives reframe. You made a mistake. It was a bad moment. Shame, guilt research, Tangnay and Deering, shows guilt promotes repair and disclosure. Shame promotes withdrawal. Investigators guide him toward the emotion that speaks.
It could
7
be...
years, 10 years, 15,
No,
you
because
guys know that stuff.
It honest to God, it varies. And I mean, you still haven't told me what happened.
They say that premeditated murder is some serious shit, man.
Did you premeditate this?
Premeditate shit.
Okay.
Pretty sure you know that too,
Yeah.
man.
So, again, what happened? I mean, obviously there's a... And?
I don't even know my options. Why can't we work together?
So tell me what you mean by your options.
What happens to me?
You know, I don't know.
Instead of threatening him, detectives calmly outline procedures. Booking, processing, the missing 35 to 45 minutes. This gradual inevitability reduces resistance. Learned helplessness theory suggests that when outcomes feel unavoidable, individuals shift from denial to damage control. Scott moves from defending innocence to explaining conduct.
I'm gonna handcuff you, man, alright?
Okay.
So your question is, where now? Based on this...
You asked me if I lost it.
Yes, I did.
I don't know. You think I am not kicking the shit out of myself? You don't think I feel bad?
No, I know you are. I mean,
I'm never really fucked up, you know?
Detectives prompt Scott to name what he feels: fear, regret, concern for his children. Affect labeling, Lieberman, shows that articulating emotion reduces its intensity. A calmer mind can process and reveal more information.
you're still in there with her. Still. Help me understand what happened in that room.
I don't know, man, how to help you understand it, man. I don't know.
Did you lose it?
I guess I don't understand it either, man. I don't know, man.
If you love her so much,
What do you want, man?
I just want you to tell me what
do you want?
happened.
What do you want? Huh?
Tell me what happened. What are you afraid of saying? Any of it.
Hey, what are we doing, man?
I'm trying to figure out why you're standing in the same room as your wife as she's on the ground. That's what we're doing.
Hey, where do we go from here, man?
Directly accusing Scott of lying, detectives probe gently. Unclear timelines, or inconsistent pauses, or shifting explanations, or unexplained injuries. Interpersonal deception theory shows that lies fracture under emotional and cognitive strain. Scott's inconsistencies multiply.
That girl was my whole life. What happened? I don't know. I don't know. It just happened. It was so fast. You know, when they get me in that courtroom, they're gonna make me look like a piece of shit bastard to you. They're gonna say these terrible fucking things, and you know that.
To finish, it's a story.
So I'm a borderline psychotic.
No.
Is that what's wrong with me, man?
Come on, you had a bad day. Come on, give yourself a break. Everyone screws up. This is a major screw up. I'm not gonna play like this is...
Detectives reinforce Scott's self-image as a caring father. You love your kids. You want to do right. Self-affirmation theory, Steele, suggests that when identity feels secure, individuals tolerate difficult truths more easily. Scott begins acknowledging facts in fragments.
I wanted to take care of it his way. You took that from me. That.
When I stepped away and I saw that, that was the first time I actually heard that thing. All the way. You're not just a number.
Nobody's gonna hear about my feelings, what happened to me. You think what happened to that girl, you think what happened to her was bad? Nah, man. I haven't even told you what's happened to me in my life and shit, man.
Scott speaks about betrayal, temptation, inner conflict. Detectives allow him to continue. Narrative transportation theory explains that emotion deepens commitment, even to incriminating details. The longer he narrates, the further he binds himself to the unfolding truth.
You know, do I think that you set everything up to draw her in there and kill her? No,
That's crazy shit, man. No way.
No.
No way, man. That wasn't even going through my mind.
And so...
I don't know. Is that it? Spontaneous?
Yeah.
You think that if it wasn't a time machine, a man wouldn't be like, wow, what the fuck are you doing, man? What the fuck are you doing? You've just sworn to protect this person and love him forever and ever and ever. What are you fucking doing here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Detectives gently frame the event as impulsive. You snapped. It happened fast. Attribution theory suggests that temporary, situational explanations are easier to admit than deliberate intent. Scott begins describing actions and duration.
And you sitting across from me and talking to me and telling me what happened means something to me. Yeah. You're in Boulder County.
You know what they're gonna say? Hey, you killed your fucking wife. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you, man? Huh?
Someone that lost it. That's who you are. You lost her.
When Scott calls himself worthless, detectives counter. You're a good man who made a mistake. Self-concept maintenance theory suggests individuals confess only if they believe they can retain some moral identity.
So what am I looking at here? What are my options? Like, I don't want the state to take them.
Yeah.
I'm losing my rights to them, right?
Detectives shift focus to sentencing, forgiveness, life beyond. Temporal construal theory shows psychological distance makes painful admissions feel survivable.
When you're in that room with her,
I believe it, man. You don't know. So I've been protecting her.
so tell me. Help me understand.
Way too fast, man.
Did you hit her? Did you choke her?
Nope.
What happened?
You think this is easy?
No, I know it's not. I see it in your eyes. I see it in your eyes.
Soft affirmations. I understand. You tried. Lower resistance. Rooted in Rogers' humanistic empathy principles, validation deepens disclosure.
They're gonna take you to the jail. They're gonna charge you.
So now what happens from here?
We gotta figure out.
What are my options? Where do we go from here?
You're gonna be booked into jail.
As Scott collapses emotionally, detectives shift to practical matters. Bail, logistics, children. Cognitive behavioral principles show structure prevents emotional shutdown.
I agree with you.
I should have the right to say what happens to me in the end, man.
Explain to me what happened.
No, man. Maybe it was just one time too many, man. Maybe it was just one time too many, man. Just pushing, man. I'm fucking pushing, man. Maybe I just couldn't take it anymore, okay? Okay? You think I'm not fucking sorry?
I know you're sorry. I know you're sorry.
Detectives allow Scott to cry, to describe kissing her, seeing blood. Dual process grief research shows emotional processing reduces defensive resistance.
And I tell you what, it takes a strong man to sit there and face up to what you're facing up to right now. This isn't easy for any of
I
us.
should be killed.
No. No, I'm sorry.
I don't want to live the rest of my life in no prison house. That's not gonna do anything for me. That's not gonna do anything. You know what'll happen? I'll just join with one of them monsters in there, man, and we'll fuck other people up. You know that.
Yeah.
I'll survival of the fittest. You know that. I'm not gonna bitch, dude. I ain't gonna be no bitch in there. You know that, dude.
I know you're not.
I'll go hardcore.
Help me.
Why do we have to do this, man?
Just so that
Why?
it just helps with everything that's
Going down
done.
the drain, right? No.
No,
Clear with each other.
no.
I'm going down the... Oh, yeah.
No.
They describe confession as courage. Moral licensing theory suggests truth-telling restores integrity.
Doing something about it. I didn't do anything at all.
Okay. Is that what happened?
That's about the size of it.
Well, tell me what happened, though. Does she fall when you go into the bathroom? Is that why you said that earlier?
I don't know, man.
You really... Do you honest to God not know, or you just...
I'm not sure, man. Am my memory blocked or something? Is that what's going on?
I don't know.
So I just don't know, man. I don't know. Or maybe the truth is maybe I don't want to know.
Well,
Okay? Maybe I'm just mentally blocking everything because I don't want to know, man. Maybe I don't want to look in the mirror and go, what do you...
but you know at some point you have to deal with what you did.
Okay.
Scott repeats, I don't know. Detectives allow repetition. Catharsis theory suggests tension must exhaust itself before clarity emerges.
To know.
So I'm exploring my options now, man. How long am I going to prison for? How long am I going to be locked up? For a long time?
I honest to God, I have no idea. That's a deal for you to talk to the DA's office. Like I said, my role doesn't change here. My role is to document what happened and to hold the people that did something accountable. That's it.
I got it.
You know, people, like I said, people.
So you're recording me, right?
No, this is off. This was the
So I see the
the
light.
audio. No, it's just the speaker for the video. Yeah, this is the written form rather than just the one I read to you.
You know how long the law carries. You know,
You know
how
what?
all that stuff carries.
When Scott fears losing his children, the detective assures him he will see them again. Hope theory explains that maintaining even minimal optimism prevents total withdrawal, keeping dialogue alive until the final acknowledgement. In December 2019, Scott Jones stood before a jury in Boulder County District Court. Prosecutors argued this was not a spontaneous tragedy, but a calculated act. They presented the hidden camera footage, forensic findings, and testimony revealing a darker history. Neighbors described threats Scott had made in the past, including a chilling statement about striking Deborah and burying her. Others painted a portrait of volatility and control. Forensic pathologist Dr. Daniel Linghamfelter testified that Deborah died from homicidal asphyxiation, manual strangulation, possibly combined with smothering. His graphic account of her injuries was so disturbing that one juror fainted. The defense argued emotional eruption. Prosecutors pointed to the 47-minute delay, the staged 911 call through his son, and the deliberate construction of an alibi. On December 20, 2019, the jury found Scott guilty of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to 48 years in the Colorado State Penitentiary, plus an additional year for child abuse due to involving his son in the aftermath. A marriage ended in violence, and the courtroom ensured the truth did not disappear with it.